candidates clashing in Motor City. 10 presidential hopefuls battled it out during the second Democratic debate. Key issues like health care, immigration, and gun violence all were up for discussion. So who came out on top? Let's bring in Democratic political analyst Jason Henry and Republican analyst and radio talk show host Carl Jackson. Gentlemen, great to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Amy.
So a lot of folks are really talking about Marianne Williamson, saying that she kind of stole the show last night. She was the most Googled candidate in every state, I think, except Montana. Why do you think that she got so much attention last night, Jason?
Well, number one, I think she spoke directly to what a lot of Democrats have criticized President Trump for, and that's being a racist. Look, Democrats last night, for some of the questions that they were asked, it felt like this was a Fox News debate almost. And for Marianne Williamson to come out and say some of the things that we've been all saying privately, I think that's why she did so well.
Carl, I want to listen to a quick soundbite from her, and then I'm going to have you react to it. Let's go ahead and listen to that.
And I've heard some people here tonight, I almost wonder why you're Democrats. You seem to think there's something wrong about using the instruments of government to help people.
What are your thoughts on that?
Amy, I'm sorry.
Well, she's talking about sort of ashamed to be a Democrat and using the government to help people was her big thing. She also talked about reparations a lot last night, Carl.
Yeah, I think people will be seriously disappointed with reparations. I guess that's a fun topic, but it's not going anywhere. As far as the lineage of slaves or slave owners, that's only about 5% of the American people. So I think, listen, I think Marianne Williamson provides comic relief. And the truth of the matter is she isn't going anywhere unless magically $25 million comes into her coffers within the next week or two. I suspect that'll be her last debate.
All right, we want to talk about Elizabeth Warren because a lot of folks saying she won the debate last night. Let's listen to what she had to say.
You know, I don't understand why anybody goes to all the trouble of running for president of the United States just to talk about what we really can't do and shouldn't fight for.
What do you think of that, Jason?
I thought that was great. John Delaney, people have been pushing John Delaney to get out of the race, and I think Elizabeth Warren pretty much said it last night. Why are you running for president if you don't have big ideas? She did really well last night. She solidified her candidacy. And I think moving forward, you're going to start to see the candidate list start to winnow down, and she's going to be at the top of it.
All right, Carl, I mean, that's what they have to do, right, in these initial debates. They have to tear each other down in order to bring themselves up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is do-or-die moments. Quite frankly, I think that Delaney is the best candidate the Democrats have, but he doesn't stand a chance because the party has moved so far to the left. Ironically, I agree with Jason, and I thought it was a good night for Sanders, and I thought it was a good night for Elizabeth Warren. I think their status will remain. I also think Buttigieg, even though he didn't have the greatest night, the fact that he has so much money, this is a guy that'll stick around for a while too. So I don't think anything has really changed. I think tonight's debate may determine who leaves the race immediately.
Right. Again, Joe Biden is going to be at the debate tonight. Let's listen to what Bernie Sanders had to say about health care. I'm going to have Jason react to that.
5 minutes away from here, John, is a country. It's called Canada. They guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child as a human right. They spend half of what we spend.
Yeah, and then they sort of made that famous line after that saying, I wrote that bill. Okay, Jason, let's react to that.
You know, my reaction to that is that why did John Delaney get so much screen time? We're talking about a guy who's polling at -1% and everything was directed toward him. I thought Bernie had a really good night last night. To your point, him saying I wrote the dang bill, that was kind of the soundbite of the night. That lets you know how well he did.
Yeah, okay. What do you think, Carl?
I think John Delaney gets so much airtime because he's the only one on stage that could do math, apparently. Bernie Sanders was talking about Canada and how they pay half the amount in health care. What he doesn't tell you is that they're 1/10 of the population. So if you do the math, that means they're paying a buttload. And honestly, I thank God for Bernie. At least he's telling the truth, where Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren continue to lie and say that the top 1% and billionaires, there aren't enough, by the way, will be the only ones taxed more. It's just not true. He's at least admitting, no, the middle class and the poor, you're going to get gaffled. You're going to be paying at least 50% of your of federal taxes in order to get the plans that they want. So at least Bernie is being honest about it. Poor people, you're going to get poorer. Middle class people, you're going to get poorer too. I can appreciate his honesty.
We must have been watching two different debates last night.
I'm just willing to tell people the truth.
Carl and Jason, we love a good debate. Thanks so much, you guys, both of you, to come in this morning and talk with us and talk to our viewers.
And just like this moment, Democrats are going to end up losing just like Jason just did.
Y'all take John away. How about that?
The fight is on. The fight is on. Great to have you guys. Thanks, you guys.